HOA Karen threw mom's cane away, didn't know my uncle's a state senator. The neighborhood barbecue was in full swing, but Karen's shrill voice sliced through the chatter like a knife through butter. Your mother's cane is an eyesore. Cluttering the porch, she barked, pointing at the weathered wooden stick leaning against our front door. I froze, burger halfway to my mouth, as every head in the cul-de-sac turned to witness her latest tirade. My name's Ellie, and I'd only been back in my hometown for a week, helping Mom settle into her new place after her hip surgery. The cozy ranch-style house in Willow Creek was supposed to be her fresh start, a quiet spot to recover. But Karen, the HOA president with a clipboard permanently glued to her hand, had other plans. She'd been hounding us since day one, complaining about Mom's potted geraniums, the angle of our mailbox, even the shade of our curtains. Community standards. Ellie, she'd sneer, as if her word was law. That day at the barbecue, I tried to keep the peace. Karen, it's just a cane. Mom needs it to get around. My voice was calm, but inside, I was seething. Mom, sitting nearby in her wheelchair, looked down, her frail hands trembling. Karen scoffed, tossing her bleach blonde hair. It's unsightly. Take it inside, or I'll have it removed. The crowd murmured, some nodding in agreement, others shifting uncomfortably. I wanted to scream, but Mom's gentle tug on my sleeve stopped me. Let it go, Ellie, she whispered. But Karen didn't let it go. Over the next few days, her campaign against us intensified. She left passive-aggressive notes taped to our door. Porch clutter violates HOA rules. Rectify immediately. She'd stand on her lawn across the street, binoculars in hand, watching our every move. I caught her snapping photos of Mom struggling to wheel herself up the ramp, muttering about property values. It was maddening. But Mom kept saying, she's just lonely. Ellie, don't stoop to her level. Then came the twist I didn't see coming. One evening, while I was at the pharmacy picking up Mom's meds, a neighbor kid named Timmy knocked on our door. He was barely 12, all freckles and nervous energy, clutching a crumpled piece of paper. Miss Ellie, you gotta see this, he stammered, handing me a flyer. It was a petition, signed by half the neighborhood, demanding we remove unsightly medical equipment or face fines. Karen's name was scrawled at the top in her unmistakable loopy handwriting. Timmy whispered, she's been going door to door, saying your mom's a burden on the community. My blood boiled. A burdened mom, who'd spent her life volunteering at the local shelter, baking cookies for every kid on the block, was a burden. I crumpled the flyer, thanking Timmy for his courage. That night, I sat with Mom, her eyes glistening as she read the petition. I don't want to cause trouble, she said softly. I hugged her, promising we'd fight this. But deep down, I wasn't sure how. The tension built like a storm. Karen's next move was a letter from the HOA, threatening a $500 fine if the cane wasn't gone by Friday. I called a lawyer, but he said HOA rules were ironclad unless we could prove harassment. I started documenting everything: Karen's notes, her photos, even her snide comments at the community pool. Neighbors began picking sides. Some, like old Mr. Jenkins, defended Mom, saying Karen was out of line. Others, cowed by Karen's influence, avoided us. The cul-de-sac felt like a battlefield, and I was losing ground. Then, the breaking point. Friday morning, I stepped outside to find Mom's cane missing. The porch was bare, the ramp slick with morning dew. I found Mom inside, pale and shaken, gripping the armrests of her wheelchair. It was there last night, she said, her voice small. I stormed across the street to Karen's house, pounding on her door. She answered with a smirk, arms crossed. Problem. Ellie, where's my mom's cane? I demanded. Karen shrugged. I warned you. It's gone. Maybe check the dumpster. My vision blurred with rage. You threw it away. She needs that to walk. It's for the good of the neighborhood, Karen said, her tone dripping with self-righteousness. You'll thank me when property values stay high. I was seconds from losing it when a car pulled up. Out stepped my Uncle Ray, Mom's older brother, a man I hadn't seen in years. He was tall, silver-haired, and carried an air of quiet authority. I'd forgotten he was visiting that weekend. His eyes narrowed as he took in the scene, me, fuming, and Karen, smug as ever. "What's going on?" he asked, his voice low but sharp. Karen, oblivious, launched into her spiel about HOA rules and community aesthetics. Ray listened, his face unreadable. Then he said, "You threw out my sister's cane, the one she needs to move." Karen faltered, sensing something off. It's policy," she stammered. Ray's lips tightened. "I'm Raymond Carter, state senator for this district. I'd like to see that policy in writing." Now, the color drained from Karen's face. She didn't know. Nobody did. Uncle Ray wasn't just Mom's brother. He was a man with connections, influence, and a deep love for his family. Karen scrambled, muttering about misunderstandings. But Ray wasn't having it. He pulled out his phone, calling a contact at the county attorney's office. "I need someone to look into HOA violations," he said. His eyes locked on Karen. The fallout was swift. By noon, the cane was found snapped in two, tossed in a dumpster behind the community center. Karen had done it herself, caught on a neighbor's security camera. The footage spread like wildfire. Thanks to Timmy's older brother posting it online, the neighborhood group chat exploded. People who'd stayed silent now called Karen out, sharing their own stories of her bullying. Mr. Jenkins revealed she'd fined him for his grandson's tricycle. Another neighbor confessed Karen had threatened to tow her car over a single oil stain. That afternoon, Ray organized an emergency HOA meeting at our house. The living room was packed, the air thick with tension. Karen stood in the corner, clutching her clipboard like a shield. I wheeled Mom in, her broken cane laid across her lap like evidence. Ray took the floor. "This isn't just about a cane," he said, his voice steady but fierce. "It's about decency. My sister deserves to live here without fear. You all do." Karen tried to interrupt, but the crowd wasn't having it. "Mr. Jenkins stood up, pointing at her. "You've been terrorizing us for years." Enough cheers erupted. Timmy's mom, a quiet woman who'd never spoken out, shared how Karen had mocked her son's stutter. The room turned on Karen, her authority crumbling. Ray presented the security footage, the petition, and a stack of complaints I'd gathered. He announced he'd be filing a formal complaint with the state, citing harassment and discrimination against a disabled resident. Karen's eyes darted to the door, but there was no escape. The HOA board, pressured by the crowd, voted to remove her as president on the spot. As Karen stormed out, humiliated, Ray knelt beside Mom, promising to get her a new cane, custom-made. Mom smiled, squeezing his hand. "I just want peace," she said. The room softened, neighbors apologizing, offering help. Timmy's mom brought over a casserole the next day. Mr. Jenkins fixed our mailbox. The cul-de-sac felt like a community again. But the story didn't end there. Karen's downfall went viral. The video of her tossing the cane racked up thousands of views, sparking debates about HOA overreach. Ray's office pushed for new state laws to protect residents from abusive HOAs. Karen moved away a month later, her house sold at a loss. Rumor has it she's living in an apartment now, far from any clipboard or power trip. Mom's doing better, her new cane carved with her initials. She's back to baking cookies, and the neighbors stop by to chat, not complain. I'm proud of how we fought back. But I wonder, what do you think? Was Karen just misguided? Or did she get what she deserved? Share your thoughts. I'd love to hear them.